Welcome to a Psalm for Today, your reassuring voice that Jesus is Lord. I must apologize for missing a couple of our Psalm for the Days this week. I'm blaming jet lag. Several times I sat down to study for the Psalm and fell fast asleep and woke up hours later. So I think I missed 2 or 3 Psalms this past week. What a delight it is to talk to you about joy. We are working our way through the Psalms that align with the fruit of the Spirit. And the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy. We're on joy this week. And joy is comprised of 3 things, science tells us. Science tells us that joy is linked with enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning. Enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning. I'll talk today about satisfaction. In the scientific sense, satisfaction is called subjective well-being. That means it is a measure we make ourselves of how well we are. It is a subjective well-being measurement or life satisfaction. Several components go into this. 1 is brain chemistry. 1 is personality, 2 is relationships, 3 is health, and 4 is how we interpret our lives. Wow, these are powerful things. Subjective well-being or life satisfaction is a mix of brain chemistry. There's some things we can do for brain chemistry. We can increase our gut biota. We can take probiotics. We can get plenty of sun, although it's raining at this very moment. There's a lot of things we can do to help our brain chemistry. Additionally, that brain chemistry mixes with our personality. It mixes with our relationships, our health, and it mixes with how we interpret our lives. This is components. These are components of satisfaction. Research shows it's not just a feeling in the moment, but a relatively stable evaluation of how one's life is going overall. At any given moment, part of you is doing well, part of you isn't doing so well. You can decide which part you're going to allow to give you the meaning, right? One time I was talking to JL Cox, and she said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm doing great." She goes, "I hate it when you say that." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you always say that." I said, "JL, I'm in charge of which part of my heart I reply from, and I choose to reply from the part of my heart that's doing well. So I'm doing great today." Now, another part of my heart probably wasn't doing good that day. I don't remember. Well, she was battling with cancer, and I knew that this would be the last time I saw her down in the Tri-Cities. I flew down, and of course, Gary picked sushi. So we went out to a Japanese restaurant. I did not have sushi, I assure you. And as we left, I said, "Jill, it's been really wonderful to get this time with you." She said, "And me too. I've enjoyed it a lot." I had the door open to get in my car, if I recall the details correctly, and she had the door open to get into their car. And then she said, "Oh, and by the way, I'm doing great because I'm in charge of the part of my heart I talk out of." Those were the last words I ever heard JL say. I'm doing great because she chose a part of her heart to talk from in the midst of horrific cancer and pain. So it's an overall satisfaction is an overall sense of well-being. It's a judgment that we make in our brain about how good life feels overall. This is very different than pleasure. Satisfaction and pleasure are not the same thing. Mood and satisfaction are not the same thing. Satisfaction is this overall sense. Well, our psalm, I should have opened with it, is Psalm 100. "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and come before his presence with singing." Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Components of joy include happiness. And happiness includes the 3 things that we might call them macronutrients of happiness: enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning. Satisfaction is a core part of the subjective well-being, and it is crucial for you and me to figure out how to walk in a satisfied life. Now, I want to say that satisfaction can be an endless pursuit, so to say. But we aren't really after an emotion. We're not after a feeling. We're after a measurement of our well-being. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. This joy is that God has been our enjoyment, that God has been our satisfaction, and God has given us our meaning. So enjoyment, satisfaction, and meaning are key components to this joy that we're talking about. I sat here, look at all this junk around my backyard. There's more over there. The reason I wanted to show that to you is because I have satisfaction from that pile of debris. There have been big plants back in our backyard that have been here probably 50 years. I mean, they were huge, and inside was rabbits' dens and warrens and bird nests, and a lizard lived in there. And they just were plants that we didn't like. And so Paula and I decided, let's take them out. And it was back-breaking work for a guy like me that has challenges with his back. And I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piles will fit into a trailer that's coming on Monday and haul it to the dump. Why do I mention that on a Psalm for today? Because it gives me satisfaction. Why does it give me satisfaction? Satisfaction is a feeling of reward that happens after a strenuous effort. It's a feeling of reward that happens after effort. Now, when you run in a race, you want to win, because winning is the reward after all that effort. When you eat the way I eat keto. When I eat keto, I want my blood sugar to be under 100, and I want my ketones to be over 2. That's just a goal that I have. When that happens, I'm satisfied. I think it's telling that the famous Rolling Stones song says, "I can't get no satisfaction," is a plight for many people in the world today. I would recommend that we retrofit or we recalibrate our heart to where we are satisfied in God, where God is our satisfaction. This little pile of debris here that I've been cleaning out all day today gives me a little sense of satisfaction. I did it. Mission accomplished. I got rid of that. There's satisfaction in that. But there is a satisfaction that goes beyond material things. There's a spiritual satisfaction. And when we train our hearts to be satisfied with God, to be satisfied, that it's not God plus the house I want, it's not God plus the image I want, it's not God plus the money I want, it's not God plus the whatever. No, it's God alone. My heart is satisfied with you. That can you be satisfied if Christ is all you have? Pastor Gary one time said, it's not until God is all we have that we know he's all we need. We train ourselves to say, I'm satisfied with God alone, that I don't need others' approval. I don't need others' accolades. I don't need to reach all my goals. I am satisfied in Christ. In Christ alone, my hope is built. Right? Brothers and sisters, the fruit of the Spirit align with the Psalms. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Why can we be joyful? Because we have enjoyment in God. We have satisfaction in God. And we find our meaning in God. Jesus is